That's Mark Greatbatch under the helmet, and we'll be fascinated by his approach. Richard, we've got the left armer who might be swinging the ball around a bit.
Well, it will be interesting because Akram, a left arm over the wicket bowler, will move the ball away to the left-hander Greatbatch, and if Greatbatch is looking to chase him and go over the top or try and hit it over mid-wicket, he will be in fact hitting across the line and chasing the ball that'll be leaving him. So that'll be an intriguing contest, and Greatbatch hasn't been tested to this extent, but of course one of the assets that Akram does have is that he can bowl round the wicket to the right-hander, and that makes him very difficult for the right-hander within swinging Yorkers. So this is going to be an intriguing contest for the New Zealand batsmen.
Rather than a slip in a gully, it should be a very good batting surface and lots of runs to be scored.
Wasim Akram again to Greatbatch. Actually, that must be a wide. It is umpire Steve Buckner from the West Indies, who's made, I think, perhaps the most favourable impression of all umpires in this tournament. He's a lovely man, he's gloriously relaxed, and he doesn't half know the laws of cricket well.
Yes, well, definitely this is a wide, going further again, and Akram has got a very busy action and quite sharp too.
Oh, what a good shot. Imran Khan, a rather elderly boot, left boot from Imran Khan, but then middle age is upon all of us eventually, I suppose. Cricketing middle age anyway.
Yes, well, that just seemed away a little, but definitely on top of the ball there, Latham, and able to push it just wide of mid-off.
So 3 for no wicket. Pakistan won the toss. They decided to field. And goodness me, there's a lot of tension here. This game's so important. Good shot, that. Very good shot by Greatbatch. It's going away from 4. That was a fine stroke. He played it so well, moving inside the line, playing it late, keep turning it round with his wrists for the day's first boundary.
Yes, this is one of the difficulties that bowlers have bowling to left and right-handers. That nipped away would have been a good delivery to the right-hander, but quite a comfortable shot there for Greatbatch, tickling it around the corner, and fine leg, far too wide to stop that boundary.
7 for no wicket. So remember, on One World of Sport, it's going to be cricket almost non-stop now through until midnight. Oh, there we are. That's Greatbatch in excelsis. A splendid stroke over square leg, 4 runs, and that's the one that sets the lads a-cheering. Look at them. Marvellous.
Yes, well, this hits it into his pads again, and the shot's very much on. Although, no, he fetched it from off stump, as a matter of fact. So the length, he was playing the length rather than the line, but picked it up very efficiently, and always going to be 4.
They tell me, Glenn, that Mark Greatbatch isn't going to fly to Australia. If New Zealand get there, he's going to walk across the Tasman. And I think in his present form, he won't get wet. 11 for no wicket. Akib to Greatbatch. Isn't that wonderful? Like a great tracer bullet, it descends in the stand. 6 runs, and Greatbatch is on his way again. What a wonderful shot. He's got 14. It's now 17 for no wicket. Well, well, well. 17 for no wicket. Oh, it's marvellous, 4 runs. That was a really bad ball. It was a no ball to compound the felony. It was short, it was wide, and Latham joined in. What a marvellous stroke.
Well, Akram decides to go around the wicket here, and once again it's wide. It was a little in the air, but that fielder at point is a little deeper than is normal, or with the new ball anyway, that one tends to go deeper there, square of the wicket, and that was a fine shot too from Latham.
Well, one of Wasim Akram's strengths is the ability to bowl round the wicket to the right-hander, but it wasn't visible then. Well run there, Greatbatch making the call. He was running to the danger end, and they were home.
Well, amazing here. The ball actually just went out to gully as a leg by, and Greatbatch was through very quickly, but that person just coming across from a square gully was unable to cut off the single. So that's good positive running from New Zealand.
Most particularly Akib Javid. He went for a million in that first over of his. Oh, it's in the air, he's out, he's gone. Latham looks at the pitch. In fact, he might look at his own judgment. It was a poor stroke. That ball didn't do a great deal, and it was very comfortably picked up at first slip. So New Zealand have lost their first wicket in the 4th over.
Yes, if you're going to dabble at these, you really must get across and get on top of the ball And here he is trying to run it down there. Always risky against the new ball with a bounce such as that. And so New Zealand lose their first wicket in the 4th over, 23 for 1.
And it's Andrew Jones with the white grease on his nose. Here, let's have a look now at this wicket again.
Just a little bit of bounce, as we can anticipate from this pitch. Rod Latham giving himself a little room, trying to run it down to third man. And really that was catching practice for Inzamam ul Haq.
You can hear him scratching. He's like a demented rabbit, isn't he? Scratching his mark on this very hard pitch there so that he knows exactly where he's standing. And it's Aqib Javed now to Jones. Oh, a bit of misfielding in the gully. Yes, go on, there's a run there. They've got that.
Wazim Akram. Oh, very full delivery. He's out. He's out. Andrew Jones is out. LBW, a very full delivery, hitting Jones on the foot. And Wazim Akram has struck for Pakistan.
Well, that looked like an in-swinging Yorker, and that's what Akram is very good at doing. And that's dead, absolutely out. And Buckner has no alternative but to raise the finger, and New Zealand have now lost their second wicket. Jones out for 2.
So New Zealand 26 for 2.
Lost a couple of wickets, and this is the dismissal of Andrew Jones. Very full. That's absolutely dead. Would have knocked out middle. And that's the second wicket gone. Latham's already gone for 6. Jones for 2. Great Batch is there on 15. He's had a couple of 4s and a 6. So really we've had a sensational start here. And, well, New Zealand do have 1 or 2 problems. But, of course, Martin Crowe's the informed player for New Zealand, along with Mark Greatbat. And so he'll be happy to just settle it down just a little bit.
Oh, this could be trouble here. And he gets back. Well, Mark Greatbatch came a long way down. The Pakistanis were a bit slow to react. Martin Crowe had no intention of going. Let's have another look at it.
Yes, well, Martin Crowe wasn't interested at all. In fact, he put his hand up. Greatbatch had come a long way down the wicket, did well to turn round and get back. And
very wide on the crease, but good shot from Greatbatch. He stands high and hits it away square on the offside, off the back foot. And that just raced away. My word, this outfield is quick.
Yes, well, that ball just sort of sat up, and it was very uppish. And had that man at point been just a little more backward, there could easily have been a chance. But still, it's gone very, very quickly, as you say, Mystery, for 4 runs.
So surprised how quickly that left the bat. He seemed to be struggling a bit. It was climbing on him.
Well, I think he's got a pretty good bat that's
yes,
well and truly played in, and he's probably got a very good centre or soft spot there.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of cricket to go yet. So,
there is. I think obviously that decision of whether Crowe wins that award depends on his performance today, because there's just a couple of other players in contention.
Oh, I thought that hit the bat for a moment, but coming from the pad. But just going down the leg side. It was a good take by the keeper.
Yes, Moen did very well there, but it just flicked the pad. I just wonder in another part of the world just what might have happened with that decision. Need I say any more?
It's on the leg stump and he's going to be caught, Crowe. He says that he's out and the catch has been made. So a decisive breakthrough for Pakistan, who are absolutely delighted. Crowe leaves at 3 and New Zealand now at 39, but they've lost 3 wickets.
Yes, Martin Crowe exits that delivery on the toes, a swinging sort of Yorker, tucked away towards backward short leg, where Amir Sohail took chest high, and a good catch that one, a very well judged catch. And Martin Crowe walks back to the pavilion, 3rd wicket down.
So in the 9th over, 39 for 3 now. Crowe leaving, caught Amir Sohail, bowled Wazim Akram for 3. And Greatbatch is still there on 19, and some real pressure now on Ken Rutherford. With Wazim Akram, who'd been very much outside the off stump, he eventually got one down the line of the stumps.
That's a good delivery, that one. It was just tucked away, well timed, but uppishly to backward short leg, where Amir Sohail took it chest high, made no mistake at all.
Yeah, Mushtaq bowling, and it's very wide, and umpire Steve Randall said it's too wide.
Great Batch in a quieter mood now.
Oh, he's gone over the top this time, through backward point. It's safe out there, one bounce four.
Yes, a typical one-day shot by Great Batch. That one delivered short and lifting, and Great Batch right in position, playing it on top of point, straight to the fence.
Well, that's not a good shot from Great Batch, but he's going to be a bit lucky, and he'll get some runs. Now, the outfield's pretty quick. It might go all the way. Akib is racing. And there's the 50 for New Zealand in the 12th over. New Zealand's brought up its 50, but has lost 3 wickets on the way.
Good delivery by Mushtaq there, and Great Batch trying to sweep, misses the line of the delivery, goes off his pads most possibly, and Akib did very well to save that from going to the floor.
That's Chris Harris, Martin Crowe, Ian Taylor, the manager. They're looking, to say the least, pensive. Oh, that's a fine stroke, 4 runs. It's a marvellous shot. That's Great Batch back on song. He hit that beautifully. Not much backlift, but whack. He had a little bit of width, and it was short.
Yes, he used the pace of the ball. He got over the top of this one. The previous ones had gone in the air, but that really is a good shot. He got side on and clipped it behind point.
Well, Glenn, I suppose one day when Great Batch gets back to Test cricket or something like that, he'll think he's got to start playing properly again. It may not be so good. I think he should go on like this. It's marvellous.
Agreed.
Come on. No ball there. Another extra against Wazim Akram's name. Umpire Steve Buckner. Such a good umpire. Calling it. I must say, when umpire Steve Buckner signals a wide, he looks to me like an animated coat hanger. It's rather amusing. Well, he got away with it, Great Batch. He swept, I think, a little bit iffily. Didn't really know which way it was spinning. And he's got a couple of runs down to fine leg, very fine leg, and it's leg byes.
And they're going for an overthrow. And that could well have been run out. It's rather cheeky. So they got an added one there from the leg byes.
That's the sort of clumsiness that drives Imran Khan demented. Look at him. It'll drive any captain demented. Look at that again.
This is a poor shot. It could have bowled him behind his pads. It's as though he doesn't know which way the ball's going, and the way out of the problem is to put the front foot down the wicket and sweep across it.
He's found the gap on the leg side, I think. No, just picked up a deep backward square in time for a couple of runs for Great Batch, showing a bit of aggression on that lap shot. So the end of 16 overs, 4 from that one, 66 for 3. All drops. Rutherford chasing a wide one. He's got himself a single, but Mohan Khan certainly had a chance to make it 4 down for New Zealand. Well, you're an old wicket-keeper, Warren Lees, or a former wicket-keeper. What do you think of his technique there?
Yeah, that was not a great effort. I don't think that was a particularly hard catch, and he should have perhaps been, he didn't move his feet at all. Tried to catch it in one glove for a start.
Good running. In fact, they're going to get some bonus runs here. This will run away for 4 overthrows. Ramesh Raja has no chance of stopping that. So the call is leg byes, and Steve Buckner will signal 4 plus the one they took originally, so it's 5 in total. 73 for 3.
Some of the best scenery in the world. I'm sure if the Americans had it, we'd all know about it, and there'd be thousands of people there every day. Fortunately, they haven't. Oh,
Where's
Ken
trouble?
Rutherford.
He's given him.
Yes, sent back. Ken Rutherford run out. I don't think there's too much doubt about that. Tragedy for New Zealand.
Certainly a waste. Rutherford walking, coming down the track, running on the shot. Akram, the left-hander, picking that ball up very quickly. As you can see, Rutherford a good 2 metres out. And that's a disaster for New Zealand, and good for Australia too, I'd suggest, at the moment.
85 for 4 New Zealand. And coming out in a very different circumstance than he's been used to so far in this World Cup.
Well, the problem here for Rutherford is that he didn't know what his fielder was, and that's the left-hander. Had it been a right-handed thrower or fieldsman, there would have been more time for Rutherford to have regained his crease. But Akram, very efficient, well taken by Moen. Well out was Rutherford. And New Zealand now have lost their 4th wicket on 85 in the 20th over. But I suppose the good news is that New Zealand need to have people like Harris and Patel and Smith to come in and have a knock in this competition, because as we've said before, they haven't been utilised. Harris hasn't had a great competition with the bat to date, although with the ball, of course, he's the leading wicket taker in the competition. So his all-round skills and abilities are very useful indeed.
Yes. So Chris Harris. Oh, he's gone. He must be stumped, surely. He is. Leaping.
It's a wide as well, but of course you can be out with a wide. Well,
oh, dear me.
That's worth 1 run. It's a wicket. It's an extra ball. And Harris, unfortunately, has been stumped on 1. Well stumped by Moen. Well tossed up too by Mushtaq.
He certainly went after this ball. As you see, very wide and far down the wicket was Chris Harris. And there was no question about that.
Yes, well, it was up there to be hit, but it was the googly, wasn't it? It just kept going further away, and he got done in the ear and with the spin. So Harris is out. New Zealand lose their 5th wicket, 88 for 5.
But Deepak Patel is the new man. And while he takes guard, and we watch the replay, and that was spinning the other way, it was very wide. We changed commentators, Glenn Turner and Kamar Ahmed coming in.
Yes, thank you, Mystery. Well, if you go down the wicket, you've got to make sure you get to the pitch of it, or at least get close enough to it so that you can bail out if you're not there. And a little bit of inexperience perhaps creeping in there, as we see Patel now has come to the crease. He will be on strike to the leg spinner, Mushtaq Ahmed, who now has 1 for 15 from 7.1 overs.
Come on, Mushtaq, come on!
Loud appeal here because he bowled a google, and Patel looked as though he didn't attempt to play a shot at it. And Mushtaq Ahmed is quite bewildered by this. We'll just watch the google, pitched outside off, and it turned just too much.
Mushtaq has bowled really well, superbly. He's given away only 15 runs and taken 1 wicket.
And that's out. That'll be out to top edge, just around the corner. And looking to sweep, paddling it round there. And great batches on his way. He's out for 42, and New Zealand lose their 6th wicket at 93. Just looking to paddle it here, just a little top edge. And Salim Malik took a very, very simple catch indeed. So New Zealand 93 for 6 in the 24th.
Yes, indeed. There's a lot depends now on Ian Smith. Just come in. That delivery from Mushtaq. Great bat. Just tried to take it away on the leg side. Didn't really time it well. Got it just in the middle of the bat, but not very powerfully. Straight into the hands of Salim Malik at backward short leg.
So just looking around the field here. He's bowled him. Smith looking to cut Imran with that angle wide of the crease, angling the ball in and nipping back as well. And at the end, Smith was just too tucked up and chopped it onto his stumps. And New Zealand lose their 7th.
That was a good delivery by Imran, in coming to the batsman, and Smith on the back foot just got an inside edge with that delivery on his leg stumps, and he walks back to the pavilion after having made only 1.
96 for 7 New Zealand. And we'll just look at the replay, and from this angle you may not have appreciated exactly how much that ball jagged back, but it showed that Smith got a big inside on it, chopped it down onto his stumps. He loves to cut, of course, Smith, but it really jagging back from Imran. So Imran takes now his 1st wicket. He has 1 for 13 from 5.2.
Yes, a lot of responsibility on Larson's shoulder now. He's got to negotiate Imran, bowling very accurately at the moment. A superb delivery, the one which got Ian Smith, just swung in like a boomerang. Smith not in the position to play that. Got an inside edge.
And Larson gets off the mark immediately, tickling it around the corner, down to fine leg. 5 inside the ring to Patel. And he'll sprint through, just put pressure on the fielder, but not able to come back for 2. And the 100 has eventually arrived for New Zealand after 26 overs. But the critical thing, of course, is that New Zealand are 7 down with just Patel and Larson at the crease with Morrison and Watson to follow.
You see what I mean?
Yes. Very punny.
Thanks, Irving. That's a very good shot, that. A very good shot indeed by Larson. It's going to be in 4 runs. Played it very well into the gap. It was a half volley. He hit it beautifully.
Yes, well, he let this one come on nicely, got over the top of it and clipped it through just wide of mid-on, between mid-on and mid-wicket. Good positioning of his feet there and finding the middle of the bat. Just look how he got outside the line of it there, rolled his wrists on it and clipped it beautifully through the onside.
Forced the ball to go in the air. It is quite extraordinary, isn't it? We've had 31 extras and only 1 batsman reached double figures. Oh, a beautiful stroke. That was a marvellous shot there by Larson. And, I mean, no one, Martin Crowe couldn't have hit a cover drive better than that.
Well, who knows? New Zealand could get a plus out of this day after all if Larson can continue to play shots such as that. And that's really a good shot indeed.
I think the main batsmen would rather be licking their lips at the thought of facing this chap, Amir Sohail, but unfortunately they're all out.
That's right. Well, it always looks easier in the pavilion, doesn't it? Here we are. Danny Morrison is finally off the mark and he holds his bat aloft. And the crowd give him an enormous cheer here at Lancaster Park.
Anyone would think he'd scored the winning run, wouldn't they?
Yes, it's champagne stuff, isn't it?
A champagne push for a single.
Yes. Oh, here's a fine-looking shot by Danny Morrison away behind square. He'll pick up 2. He timed it rather well. He's moving inside the line and flicking it away.
And was a tremendous friend of David Niven, the actor. We had a marvellous conversation for about half an hour in the Park Royal last night. It was very interesting.
Danny Morrison swinging at this one. He's hit it rather well. And he picks up 4. 1 bounce into the stand over there. So Danny Morrison opening his shoulders and hitting Amir away for 4.
Well, that's a good bit of beef. Beef in the right direction. Morrison made it after a long time. He got a single. He doubled that to 2. He then played a shot to deep square leg, got 2 more and doubled it to 4. And now he's doubled 4 to 8. I wonder if he let an 8 off the next ball.
That's 4 runs. Leg byes.
Oh, not so much elegance, but pads just as valuable as timber at this stage.
Yes, we'll take them any way they come, says Danny Morrison. 142 for 8. Amir to continue from the southern end. And that's a fine-looking shot from Gavin Larson. He didn't clear the bowler by too much, but it's gone away for 4. Hit very straight.
You know, these two are doing an important job for New Zealand because frustration is beginning to show in the among the Pakistanis now, and frustration can lead down many a blind alley.
Yes, he hit that very straight. Oh, it's in the air. He's gone. He's caught. Danny Morrison's on his way. Wasim Akram has struck. And the 9th wicket has gone.
I suppose we rather talked him out, didn't we? He just pushed at it. He didn't get behind it, very much like Latham's dismissal, which is the first one of today. Bat away from his body, got the edge, and it was quite a straightforward catch there to Inzamam ul Haq at first slip.
So Danny Morrison, he stuck around for a while. Good effort, but he's gone now. 150 for 9, New Zealand.
Oh, this was going down the leg side, so there was no appeal for an LB, but the arms went up, thinking that it almost bowled him after it ricocheted from the pads, but went down to third man for a single.
Yes, very full again, in-swinging Yorker, and Watson trying to get it down to fine leg. Well, he did the opposite. He got it down there to third man.
And it was off the bat too, I noticed.
He did well to get bat on it. But it's been a very entertaining partnership, this. So if New Zealand can get to 180, well, there's an outside chance, but really Pakistan have bowled and fielded pretty well, and New Zealand batting has left something to be desired today. However, we can't fault New Zealand on one performance, not really.
Oh, that's bowled in. He gave himself room, and the final New Zealand wicket falls. Wasim Akram bowling Larson, Gavin Larson, a very well compiled, or useful certainly, 37 from 80 deliveries for New Zealand, but New Zealand being put in today by the Pakistani captain Imran Khan, getting into trouble fairly early on, the tail wagging to some extent with the score coming up to 166, but New Zealand out in the 48th over. As we see the replay here, Imran, so I say Wasim Akram right up, that's the perfect delivery to a batsman who's trying to get after you and giving himself room, and Gavin Larson having no chance with that at all. But a well compiled 37 by him, and New Zealand have managed to scrape through to 166.
The choice then.
So New Zealand obviously looking to get early wickets. They need that to give themselves any chance of victory here.
Beautiful conditions as Danny Morrison with the new ball, about to bowl to Amir Sahal, coming round the wicket. Oh, he's hooked, it's in the air.
Could be out.
He is out.
First ball.
And Danny Morrison has got, what's a no ball call?
No, Amir is standing there waiting or looking for the no ball to be called by the point umpire. There was Steve Randall, who's made no decision at all, so Amir is out.
Yes, no question about it. There is no movement there. He was hoping for a no ball because of the fact it was a bouncer, but he's on his way.
And he doesn't want to go.
No, he's very slow.
He doesn't want to go.
Well, what a sensational start to this bowling innings, and the Pakistanis have lost their first wicket with the first delivery of the innings.
Well, we're going to look at the height here, and I think you have every reason to believe that it was too short and should have been called a no ball.
Well, of course, the rule is if it goes above shoulder height, but umpire Steve Randall says, no, it didn't. You're out, and Pakistan are 1 for none.
Height is the problem. A very marginal one, and I would think that Amir would consider himself very unfortunate that it wasn't called a no ball.
He certainly would, but he didn't want to leave Lancaster Park. But the man in the hot seat, Steve Randall, the square leg umpire who was standing at point, said it's not a no ball, and that's the way it is. And so they crossed. So the right-hander Ramiz is to face Danny Morrison. And it's all a bit of an anticlimax, Richard.
Yes, but that just might give New Zealand the incentive that they need to really get out there and put in some real effort and perhaps bring about a fall of 1 or 2 quick wickets, and that will give them a great chance of victory. And of course the Australians would love that.
Oh, he's hooked again. And well, another bouncer, and my word, he hit that well.
Yes, he did, and hit that just behind square, got onto it very quickly. Well, he protected his head just a little bit as well, not surprised because he had missed. Might have gone onto the helmet, but my word, that went very quickly behind square. No one was ever going to stop that one.
He's got him inside edge onto the stumps, and Danny Morrison has struck again. Inzamam ul Haq is
Yes, well, he got an absolute beauty. That one sort of nipped back. I think he played it on too, got a bit of inside edge. And really he was caught on the crease in no man's land. Just came back inside edge onto his stumps. He's gone. He's out for 5. Pakistan are now 2 for 9 in the 3rd over.
Well, Danny Morrison reminding him of where he's headed. Inzamam will hook on his way. Pakistan 9 for 2. Had a few back problems early on. There was some debate whether he would come to the tournament, but here he is. But let's go and see why. What a super delivery.
Yes, and Morrison, well, he's firing now, and Morrison just gave Zaman just a few words of discouragement, shall I say, that maybe a safer place to be in the dressing room.
Yes, I think he reminded him of where he might be going. Not that we encourage that sort of thing, and the big follow through there. But however, Jabed Miandad out in the middle, taking guard. A good looking shot, he's got it through, and that'll go away for 4. Well timed by Ramiz.
Well, the Pakistanis are very strong on their legs, as with a lot of teams like the Australians, that drift too straight.
Full delivery driven, good looking shot by Ramiz, and that'll run away for another 4. Martin Crowe just jogging after it. So, well played by Ramiz.
Well, that was a very good shot, because that ball was outside the off stump, and even though it was full, a roll of the wrist and pushed it through the onside there.
Oh, that's a top shot. Bad delivery, though, from Morrison. Dragged down short and wide and just smashed behind point by Ramiz Raja.
Yes, that one from close to the stump, short one, lifting, and Ramiz Raja right on top of that delivery, cutting it hard and perfectly timed. Not a fielder moved at point, and the ball raced to the fence.
Get that!
It's in the air, but just falling short of Larson round the corner.
Good delivery, that one, tempting, and Ramiz going down on one knee, tries to sweep that one, didn't really time it, top edges it, luckily for him. The fielder was not anywhere near that catch.
Nine overs gone. Patel to continue. Wide half volley, and Patel diving across and making a very good stop. I would suggest that was hit into the ground, and we'll see on the replay that was probably the case.
Yes, so that delivery right in there, and yeah, that drives. Patel tries to catch that one. I don't think it was one bounce in there.
Caught and bowled one, was
It was caught and bowled, and there was one caught by Jeff House at bat pad.
right, and that was into Carbone. Well, he swung that one away. It's down to fine leg there. Andrew Jones gets it back quickly. It was in the air for a way, but it never looked like it was going to carry.
Did you get any runs on that tour? Well, I don't remember getting too many, all wickets.
I remember you
really
having the runs on a number of occasions.
Yes, wanted to get off the field rather quickly at times.
You did the old toe drag down in Madras, didn't you, Richard?
That's India, that's right.
Oh, he's put it away over mid-wicket from outside off stump between the two deep fielders. It'll race away for 4. Long on, not able to get around Latham, and nor the man very much squarer than that. So Ramiz Raja picks up a boundary from the shot.
Yes, flatted one, and just playing across the line of that delivery, very well struck, well timed, and through the mid-wicket region. No fielder there. There's a big gap between deep mid-wicket and long on, and Ramiz Raja found the gap.
Well, this was a full half volley outside the off stump, and Great Batch takes that on the lower part of the body.
Another look at that shot. Ramiz Raja right down the wicket, drives and hits the
Picture in the air, but it was firm enough to go straight down the ground. That'll go all the way for 4. For a moment there, it looked as though it was going to be hit back to Willie Watson, but always on the onside and a boundary.
This magnificently struck by Ramesh Raja. The ball full pitched by Willie Watson, and Ramesh Raja right on top of that, going down the wicket, driving it past mid-on.
Oh, reverse lapping it, and this could well go for 4, at least 3. Certainly Jones will be hoping it goes all the way, but no, he's managed to just drag it in. And that's 3 to Miandad. And so the Pakistani 50 is up, 51 for 2 in the 20th over.
Javed Miandad once again playing a reverse sweep. This time he connects that delivery, but officially he tried that one earlier in one of the Patel's over.
Deadly accurate coming round the wicket.
Oh, that really climbed on Miandad, and he ducked for cover, just pushing it away. In the end, it went safely down to fine leg. And Steve Randall called a no ball.
Yes, he has to that one.
That's amazing, isn't it, after his earlier
done
performance?
exactly the same thing to Amir earlier on, but short ball, fair decision.
Came off the gloves.
Miandad taking evasive action there, really. Good delivery, but it's going to cost New Zealand a run or an extra ball as well.
Danny Morrison, he's the man who's picked up the 2 wickets. And Willie Watson, goodness me, 6 overs, only 9 runs. And Harris, good start for him too. Trying to pull it away, he does well, he's beaten the man at mid-on. That should run away. It's struggling towards the boundary, but Ken Rutherford just jogs after it. So that score mounting. Oh, he's nicked it, but he's nicked it fine, and that'll run away for 4. No slip in, of course, so it's fair enough. Going to cut, getting a top edge, and running down to the boundary for 4.
Yes, well, that ball was wide. It didn't really move at all into the batsman, and so Miandad had plenty of time, plenty of room to just sort of get a little bit of bat on it, and that's enough to race away to the boundary. Of course, you don't have a slip in at this stage, but of course New Zealand could probably do with a slip because they need to get wickets. They've got men up there saving runs, but not necessarily to get batsmen out.
So Ramesh Raja 50, it's been a good 50 considering he lost 2 partners early, and he's stabilised the ship and has been the backbone of the Pakistani innings. That's the end of the over, 77 for 2. Oh, fine looking shot, that should run away for 4. In fact, it does. Gavin Larson coming around, can't cut it off. So, good square cut. Ramesh Raja.
Yes, a bit of a gimme here. Not too full in length, but enough width for him to slash it behind point. Good shot there from Ramesh Raja.
Ramesh on to 61. Andrew Jones no longer required for the moment, but he is out in the field as he chases after this one. And in the end, it's Ken Rutherford coming around who picks up. But Gavin Larson taking over from Andrew Jones, who, he only bowled 1 over. Over the top he goes as Rod Latham comes into the attack, and that'll run away for 4 to the point boundary. And it does look like the Pakistanis are going after it. We've had reassurances here that it won't rain from the locals. We've heard that story before.
Yes, this is wide, and Ramesh, although not getting to the pitch of it, he knew if he hit through the line, there was every chance of it clearing the inner ring. Pakistan needed to be 144.
Evans are only 98. It does show how unfair the system is. Well, this could be a run out. He's dropped the ball. Gavin Larson at the bowler's end went to the stumps. The throw came in, it was going, but in the end he couldn't hang on to it.
Yes, I think this was such a poor throw here from Harris. It pitched just in front. A very difficult one indeed for Larson to take. So we can't really blame him too much for that one.
No bad luck, certainly Ramesh out of his ground. But the throw firing back was almost a half volley type catch, very difficult. And there's the 100 up for Pakistan. Javed Miandad getting it down to third man. And 100 for Pakistan. They've lost 2 wickets, but they've got things pretty well under control. Oh, good-looking shot from Miandad. Off the back foot, clipped away into the offside. Pretty square of the wicket for 4 runs.
And once again, Ramiz Raja goes for the big shot through the onside. And for the first time against Morrison, he gets that one through. That's the 3rd time he's tried the shot to a short ball, and the first time it's pierced the field.
Yes, Ramiz Raja, as I said earlier, is a good hooker and a puller of the ball. That delivery very short from Danny Morrison, and Ramiz Raja right behind that delivery gets on top of it and pulls it fiercely towards mid-wicket for 4.
You don't often see a pull shot hit that straight. So Morrison again, probably needing to keep the ball up a bit, Bill. Once again, brilliant fielding by Harris. Well, that was the point about that last single that was taken, Kumar, that it was hit close enough to Chris Harris to give the New Zealand side a hope that their quickest fielder would get a run out.
Yes, that delivery, and once again, Ramiz cuts fiercely, but a diving save there by Chris Harris. Earlier on, he had saved a sizzler at mid-wicket.
He's a brilliant fielder, he really is, but now and again, things just haven't quite gone the way for New Zealanders in the field today.
Yes, the two have now posted 105 runs for the 4th.
Oh, down the shot, down the ground. What a magnificent stroke from Ramiz Raja. A little over-tossed, and my word, Raja just climbed into that. It's 118 for 2, 33 overs completed. That's a great ball from Morrison, and he's out. So Miandad's gone. Morrison has his 3rd wicket, and New Zealand have struck with Pakistan at 124, now for 3. Javed Miandad is out. LBW to Morrison for 30. 124 for 3. Morrison's got all 3.
Yes, from right of the stumps, Danny Morrison, ball slightly short, and Miandad playing across, misses the line of that delivery, hit on the pad, and Steve Randall, the Australian umpire, raises his finger to give him out. Miandad missed 30 in 85 balls, 122 minutes.
So 124 for 3 with Miandad leaving in the 36th over.
Morrison with 3 for 36 in his 9th over, operating in gusty conditions from the southern end. And that's gone for 4. Hit with marvellous timing and great placement. There was a man at backward square leg, Willie Watson. He really had no chance as that one just raced away to the boundary down there. Morrison drifting down the leg side here, and just look at that, helping it on its way.
Oh, good shot. Clipped that one away. He's picked it up and hit it outside the circle, and that's 4 runs from the moment it left the bat. Good shot. End of the over, 138 for 3. Ramiz Raja. He might come back for his 100. In fact, he's turning for 2, so Ramiz Raja, 100 runs. Fine effort from him. He really has stabilised this Pakistan innings. He lost a couple of partners early. In fact, he lost his opening partner on the very first ball of the innings, but he's held the ship together, and he's now on 100.
Yes, he's played well. 13 fours in his 100, 138 balls. There's a strike rate of 72 runs per 100 balls faced, so that's a very good performance.
Oh, kept a little bit low, but pushed down to long on. Murphy Sewer, who's on the field, they're coming back for 2, and they'll get it comfortably. Murphy Sewer getting a bit of a run while Danny Morrison's off the park.
So as with a lot of Pakistan players, very strong on the leg side. A vast majority of his runs coming just behind square, through mid-on. Not too many on the offside, a lot behind point, only 1 straight drive.
He's got a superb century here.
And just flicking this down, that'll go for 4. It's fine enough. That won't be cut off. Latham drifting down the onside, and Pakistan go to 149 for 3 in the 42nd.
That's that delivery on the leg stump, and Ramiz Raja, with a flick of the wrist, turns that ball towards the long leg boundary for 4.
And this is tickled down fine as well. It's a long chase, but Willie Watson manages to grasp it, and so just 2 runs there to Ramiz.
Absolutely superb effort, sensational batting throughout the summer.
Straight down the ground, but Murphy Sewer, reserve fielder here for Danny Morrison. Good tumbling save. So 14 runs required from 45 deliveries. Pakistan just coasting to a victory. It's a little gloomy here now, but the rain is certainly going to stay off. Full toss, and that's an easy gimme down the leg side. Rutherford just lollipopping that one just outside leg stump, and just a gimme there, 4 runs.
Yes, Ramiz Raja continues to flay the bowlers. Superb innings, considering that Pakistan had lost 2 early wickets in the morning.
Well, Rutherford, I've certainly seen Rutherford run in the nets and bowl a good deal more lively medium paces than this. And he, perhaps he hasn't been practicing much in the nets. I don't know. So just an easy single down to long leg.
A happy Pakistan captain, Imran Khan.
Not being required to bat today. And the crowd here very lively. You'd think that New Zealand was winning. The way they're clapping and chanting away there. Almost excited.
Yes, indeed, they are. Very excited.
Full half volley and smashed through the covers. It's a fine shot. And the end of the over, 163 for 3, Pakistan. And he is on 115, scored from 154 balls.
And 15 superbly struck force.
And he's whacked this one, oh, just wide of mid-on. Just wide of mid-on, that's to the boundary, and that will give Pakistan the victory that they need to get through to 167 for 3 in the 45th over.
The world is coming down, the flags are up. Who's gonna be number 1? Who's gonna take out the cup?